Foley Systems. I'm Blake. Today, we're setting up a virtual machine on Proxmox, the powerful open source virtualization platform. Whether you're running a home lab or deploying enterprise solutions, Proxmox has you covered. Let's jump in. So, you recently just installed a Proxmox installation, and you type in your IP address to that said installation. We'll log out. So, you're just going to enter your username, which is going to be root, and the password you set during installation. It'll pop up, you don't have a full license. You can ignore that since Proxmox lets you use the entirety of their hypervisor platform for free. So over here is going to be your node, or if you have a clustered setup, you'll select the node from that cluster you want to deploy a virtual machine on. So we'll select that node. We'll go to the local, check our ISO images. As you can see, you'll have none, but I have one right here, so I'll go ahead and remove it. And it's very easy to upload an ISO. You'll just select your file location. So for this, and you'll just name the file as you want. So Ubuntu server is what this ISO is. And you click upload. Now, depending on the connection speed you have set up at your home lab or enterprise network, it could take a few seconds to a few minutes. So just be patient during this portion. And we're back. It will give you a task view viewer, say copied data. It'll tell you where you copied it. And that means it successfully has uploaded it into Proxmox. We'll take a couple of seconds to refresh. And voila. Now let's deploy a virtual machine. So we'll click back to our node. Up here in the top right hand corner, you'll see create VM and create CT. We're not creating a container. So we'll create a virtual machine. Select the node you like. And then give your virtual machine an ID. It starts at default 100. So let's give it a name. Just give it Ubuntu server. And it's going to ask what OS. It's going to first ask the CD location or ISO, or unless you're using physical drive or film media, then the type of OS. So Linux 6.x-2.6 kernel. And you can leave the graphics card as default unless you have a particular graphics card you want to pass through. And our BIOS, we'll leave it at CBIOS default. EFI would be like for Windows or any OS that requires a 64-bit minimum. Our SCSI controller, there's different types of controllers or emulated controllers Proxmox uses, but we'll stick with the default it gives us is for I/O SCSI. The disk is what it's going to be. It's going to be a SCSI. The ID is going to be a 0. If it has cache, of course, you'll say we'll give it a cache preference. The storage location is our default one, our local LVM. The size you want to give that VM, we'll just go with 80 gigabytes. The CPU, how many sockets or how many physical CPUs slash virtual physical CPUs you're wanting. So we could say 2 for this instance. 1 core per CPU or 2 core per CPU. So give us a total of 4 cores. And you could give it a particular CPU if you like, or you could just leave it at default. Over here's memory. It's going to be in megabytes. So we'll give it roughly 4 gigabytes. And then, of course, your network, which by default, Proxmox will give you a bridge, which will connect it to the physical network. If you have a VLAN tag set specifically for a particular network you want it to be on. So let's say 1025 for your secure, or 999 for your management, or 100 for automation, etc. You will tell it which VLAN tag to use, and we'll grab that DHCP IP from that particular VLAN IP DHCP server. Firewall, if you don't want it to have a firewall, you can disable that by default. I recommend just keep it on. Or entirely, you just don't want it to have a network device, you can check that box. And you would just look over, make sure everything is okay, which to me seems good. You can select the box, start after created. So if you want that virtual machine to spin up as soon as it's done being created, it's a generally good idea to do that. It's up to you, unless you want to change a few more things. We'll just leave it unchecked for right now, and we'll manually start it. As you can see, we'll have a lock on it. After the lock disappears, it means we can start messing with this virtual machine. In the virtual machine you select on, it's 100, so it will give you your summary. Of course, you got your memory usage, disk I/O usage, CPU, and network traffic. Notes you made for this particular machine. The console, which would just be a VNC connection. The hardware, you can always change. Your options, if there's any particular options you need to change. Your task history, basically creation, modifications, etc. You can set monitor, your backups, replications, snapshots, and of course your firewall. You can set firewall rules through here and permissions. So we're going to go ahead and select console and then start now. And just like that, your VM is up and running on Proxmox. If you found this video helped you out, be sure to leave a like, subscribe, and hit the bell for more tech content. See you in the next one.